The following segment contains sponsored content. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and not those of Nexstar Media Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees. Now, time for a break with Central Illinois' own Gretchen Wirtz.
Welcome back to Central Illinois Newsday. I'm Gretchen Wirtz, and today we're talking fun. Time to let your hair down, have some fun, and maybe head on over to Throttle Bar and Grill. Our next guest, the owner of Throttle, Ken Allison. Ken, good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Yes. All right. So tell us, you took over this place, bought this place.
Yep.
In,
absolutely. In August of 2019.
Okay.
So, and our goal was to go in, give it a facelift, make it better, make it more accommodating, and expand on the already very dedicated, loyal clientele that come into the Throttle.
Okay, so you do that, and then this little thing, the pandemic hits.
Yes, absolutely. It was, when the pandemic first started, we honestly didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And not to mention, how long is it going to last and how long is it going to continue?
Just all these unknowns.
The onset, it was, 14 days to flatten the curve, and then it became something much bigger and different. And I think what we did is we just tried to be conservative in our approach. We opened when we were allowed to open, and it's been moving pretty steadily just since then, just because of the market conditions, the location, and again the clientele that come in there.
The clientele, you got a loyal base there.
No, very loyal.
And you're over there in East Peoria, on Main Street there, off by the frontage road. So you mentioned East Peoria was a little easier to continue business there, I think, than
so
maybe
I think, and I think, from a local politics standpoint, the East Peoria handle things differently than Peoria. I owned another business in Peoria that didn't survive the pandemic, and while that's sad, you can see the obvious difference.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so I'm thankful, for East Peoria and for what they've done. They've been a great community to work in, and they're great people.
So what's the new stuff you brought in? What did you do to freshen it up? And
so the first thing we did is during the pandemic, during that first initial shutdown, we had some time, we had some capacity, and we had some dollars to invest in and say, hey, let's go ahead and start, let's just do let's refresh in a bathroom or two.
Okay.
Let's paint, and let's come up with a game plan for how we can essentially improve our foxhole. And that's the way I look at it as a military guy. I look at it from the perspective of, okay, hey, this is your place. Don't stop until it's, continually work on it. It's just continual process improvement.
Have you got it to where you like it now?
No, not yet.
No,
We're
still working.
It's still ways away. We want to get into a relative degree of normalcy and with a stable cash balance and making sure the business is working as it should on a daily basis, and then expand, potentially.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to eat there?
Throttle burger, hands down. If you get any burger with an egg on it, you're never going to go wrong.
Really?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't knock it till you try it.
Okay, I will. Yeah. I'll try it.
Absolutely.
I will try it. I'll come by there and try it.
No, for sure.
So I know you are doing a lot with the community too.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you get involved in that, and what have you been working with?
So, with East Peoria, what we've done is I've maintained a relationship with the high school. I spent some time on their school board, the East Peoria Community High School school board. Shout out to them. Fantastic people. And I also know a person by the name of Barb McDonald. She runs Moms Who Care, and which is a not-for-profit that's centered around providing, the things that kids need that are impoverished. And so it's an amazing. She's got an amazing heart the size of a lion.
Yes.
So she's a great human.
So you're doing a lot of fundraising.
So yeah, we try to do what we can with them. We also spend time working with the Family House. I sit on the board with the Family House. And so whatever they need, and Family House, just a shout out to them. They're a not-for-profit that provides temporary lodging for people that are staying in our local hospital system.
Right,
so it's a great gem of an organization that a lot of people don't know about. So shout out to Family House.
So I'm not a biker chick, but I could still come on over to the Throttle, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Yes, we want everybody to come to the Throttle.
Okay.
If you go there, the music that gets played on the TouchTunes device is like all over the map.
A little of everything. Okay.
Just understand, be energized, be ready to go, and
the
Throttle does what the Throttle does. So.
Ken Allison, thank you so much for joining us. Check them out at the Throttle there. You can go to throttlebg.com for more information. And of course, they're right there at 3308 North Main Street in East Peoria. Thank you so much, Ken, for joining us. Yep.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you. I'll have the burger with the egg. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. All right, more coming up. Keep it right here.
The preceding segment contains sponsored content. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and not those of Nexstar Media Incorporated, this station, or their affiliates or employees.